Yes, boys, this is the Dominate 2026 blueprint. We're already, 20 days into January, and I'm sure some of the people out there have not made the progress or the start to the year that they wanted. Lots of people make their New Year's resolutions. This year's going to be my year, that kind of bullshit. But the fact is that you're not making the progress that you really need to be making. So we're just going to go through the blueprint. It's still early enough where you can really make an impact in 2026 and you're not behind already. So let's get into it. So step one is to design your ultimate self. This is, where do you live? So locationally, as well as do you live in a high-rise flat, that sort of thing. Making sure your environment is good, because environment shapes who you are. Like, if I was living in a slum in Syria, I'm sure I wouldn't be as motivated or anywhere near as successful. You see what I'm talking? Like, my brain would just not function in the same way. I wouldn't be as inspired. I wouldn't be just feeling as good. Everyone knows having a clean car. Whenever you're getting your friend's clean car or your parents' clean car, it always feels a bit more premium in it. Just sort of lifts your vibration and mood. Next, we have how do you look? So, simply just write it out. How do I want to look, physique? Is it a six-pack? Is it as huge as possible? That sort of thing. How do I maximise my looks? So, get a haircut, simply. Clean your teeth. Use teeth whitening strips, that sort of thing. Then, what does my dream day look like? So, here we're talking about a normal day. It's not, am I rich, getting a Ferrari, but a dream day. Wake up. Maybe go sit on a beach. Could I go meet a girl, play some golf, that sort of thing. Design your dream day so then you know what you're actually looking to achieve in terms of a happy, normal day, rather than just working and going after it. Who are you surrounded by? These are your friends, your family. As much as you can't control your family and who you're born into, it's about choosing to be surrounded by them. One of the ways that I've figured out to improve who you're surrounded by, if you genuinely don't have any way of getting away from your friends, for example, if you're in school, you just need to consume as much content as possible, and also potentially create a community around that. So we're talking the Andrew Tates, the Jack Hopkins, that sort of thing. The people who you're inspired by and who you're looking up to, who specifically live your dream life, that's who you need to go and surround yourself by, just by consuming their content. Just by consuming that, the hours you spend with them will outweigh the hours you spend with, less motivating friends. So how do people look at you? It's, you walk into a room, people think this about you or that about you. Do you have presence? Are you potentially a bit scary? Are you dominant from maybe training, that sort of thing? And then how does this version of you act? So are you confident in all scenarios? I'm sure a lot of people struggle with sort of self-confidence when speaking to people, especially girls. How does this version of you act? So, you're going to have to just work on that confidence. You're going to have to visualize how you'd react in certain situations, and then just go get experience and put it into practice. Identity is step 2. So identity shift is where the real fucking magic happens. I've heard it from so many people. I've seen people go from literally making no money per month to 100k months just by identity shifting. They all put it down to identity shifting. It's basically where you become that higher version of yourself before you actually become it. Mentally, you're at that stage, and therefore your general actions and your vibrations and your daily sort of, I'd like to say aura, not in the way that people usually say, but the vibe you give off just raises up, which raises your own standards and then obviously raises your output and brings in betterness for yourself. So, like I've said here, you rise to the level that you set for yourself. If mentally, I know I'm going to have to be confident in any scenario. If somebody challenges me, I'm going to fucking push back, be dominant, that sort of thing. You're going to have to rise to that level. Don't break your fucking rules. See how you want to be, and then rise to sort of standard. So you need to set in stone this identity for 2026. It's like not, oh, by the end of 2026 or by 6 months. 2026 is me. This is my new identity. I've already shifted. All you have to do is visualize it and then manifest it into reality. So see who you want to be. Think about it clearly. Close your eyes, see how you act in different situations, and then literally put it into practice. As soon as you walk out that room, say you go speak to your mum, say you want to be a kinder person, you'll go give a compliment to your mum, or potentially you're going to go out and just be confident when you walk down the street, hold eye contact with someone, maybe even say hello if you're going to be confident. So that's identity shifting. Eliminate dopamine abuse. So this is a 90-day protocol that I've devised. Anything in your brain where dopamine is unnaturally released, because this is the thing that really lowers your total state, because when you're not doom scrolling, consuming drugs, alcohol, then you're mentally lowered to a lower level than you were potentially going to be previously. So no alcohol, self-explanatory. It sort of knocks you off track. It's actually a 2-day thing when you drink alcohol, because you've got the day where you drink and waste a bunch of money, and then you got the unproductive day after, where you're hungover. No drugs, of course. Same shit, where you don't want to fucking come down, you don't want to just waste a bunch of money doing lines in a kitchen, that kind of shit. No porn. Pretty self-explanatory. It fucks up your sex life because you have these unrealistic standards. Not in the porn chat way where we need to eliminate porn, but you genuinely don't know how to function. I've seen people with pretty much erectile dysfunction just from fucking watching porn. It's such a powerful sex video sort of thing that normal sex just becomes sort of satisfying to your brain, and therefore you just don't want to perform as much, which is terrible for a man, seeing as sex drive is one of the dominating factors in a man's life. Lastly, we've got doom scrolling, right? It's by far, I'd say, the biggest waste of time and procrastination method that people have, especially, right, if they're doom scrolling on stuff that's motivational. It could be those Conor McGregor edits, those sort of things where you think, this is going to be my year. No, it's fucking not. You've just spent 5 hours a day average doom scrolling on these shitty edits, right? If you look at the stats of just, how much time people are spending on screen and all shit like that, it's fucking horrible. It's all going downhill, and we just need to get off doom scrolling altogether. For me personally, I have 2 phones. One is basically a work phone, so I use it as a brick. I've only got TikTok and Instagram to actually post on, and other than that, not allowed to doom scroll. And I've got my personal phone where I might go on Snapchat, message people, all that kind of thing, personal Instagrams. So I don't know, not everyone's going to be able to have access to 2 phones, but that's one method I've thought about just to limit my scrolling, because I find even with discipline, even with myself, the addictive factor to doom scrolling is so powerful. When I try and tell my girl to get off TikTok and do something else or speak to me, I can genuinely understand where she comes from, because even for me, as somebody who I think I've built up a solid amount of discipline, it's still a fucking struggle. You just catch yourself clicking back on it when you put your phone down just for 2 minutes, that sort of thing. So resetting your dopamine and make work more attractive, or rewire your brain and make that actual dopamine, response and cycle from working. For example, making this video now, this is more appealing to me than it is to just fucking scroll for the next 3 hours. So you've got to rewire your brain, therefore make work more attractive, therefore you're going to do more and be more productive. Get jacked. It's a simple one. I'm sure you've heard it before. Gym 4 to 6 times per week. Don't always have to overcomplicate it. Sam Sulek ass exercises, getting all optimal. Not really. I don't think that's really the way. Literally just eat to grow. So we've said non-UPF food, obviously. That means mincemeats, chickens, salmons, rices, that sort of thing. You don't want fucking burgers and chocolate milk like he eats. Then weekly check-ins, I've said with this. So literally just look at how your stats are improving, how much food you're consuming, and fucking, maybe take a picture of yourself even. So just eat to grow and progressive overload. Just eat bigger, lift bigger. You're gonna get bigger. Don't fucking overcomplicate it, boys. The reason why is it demands respect. Like, this is completely the main thing that I've found. Getting bigger and, you know, getting stronger has just demanded respect when I walk into a room. You know, adults, teachers, fucking other people around me, they just kind of look at you a bit different. They're a bit more like, shit, like, he might actually beat the fuck out of me. Like, obviously we know gym isn't the way to beat somebody up. It's obviously training, but the whole point is that you just command a bit more respect from people. And of course, it increases your confidence as well. So, you know, just mentally knowing that you've been able to stick at something for, say, 4 years, you've improved, you've got bigger, you're healthier, you're on a good path. You know, this includes not drinking. So when you do both of these, you're going to be more health minded, and then you're going to feel better. You're going to feel better than the other people who are not drinking, and it just gives you that mental edge compared to the other people who potentially aren't going to the gym. Get dangerous. Recommended from me is Muay Thai specifically. So I say at least 1 time per week. I personally just do 1. It's enough for me. I'm sure some people might do 3, but I just do 1. I think it's good enough to keep compounding. You know, it doesn't cost too much potentially if you don't have enough money, and you actually have time for other things. You know, gym, you know, looking better, actually working on content. Because, you know, if you're going 3 times a week and you had work or school, it's hard to actually fit in other things like gym and actually like productive work and, you know, escaping the matrix kind of work, not like school work or 9 to 5 work. So by going to a martial arts gym, etc., you're gonna improve your presence. So again, similar to the gym, walking into a room, you will be more confident, you know, head held high. You're gonna fucking look people in the eye. You're gonna not be as scared, right? If you walked into a room and everyone was fucking huge and tattered and scary as fuck, you're probably gonna, you know, look a bit at the floor, look down, not really be as confident. However, you know, getting big, going to the gym and going to fucking Muay Thai, for example, you know, you've got 4 years Muay Thai, you're gonna be way more confident walking into a room, just knowing that it's not that you can beat people up. That's a fucking horrible ego, but it's more that you can just handle yourself. You can protect yourself and potentially protect others around you. Confidence improves, similar thing to presence. Just you walk into a room, you're more confident, you know what you can do. So we've put an action step here, because I know a lot of people see this and they go, yeah, I'll join, I'll go to Muay Thai, but then they don't fucking end up going. So literally pull out your phone now, pause the video if you're not already watching on it, pause the video, swipe off, go on, literally just go on Safari and search up nearest Muay Thai gym to me. Just go on their website. Usually they have a class timetable, see if there's any that fit around your schedule. Might have to do 1-to-1 sessions otherwise. And you just call them up or email them, text them on WhatsApp, that kind of thing, and just fucking join, like, straight away. Doesn't matter about, oh, but I've got this on then, or this kind of thing. You can figure that out later. Get to your first session, because I know a barrier for me at the start was just a bit of confidence. You know, a while ago I was maybe not a bit nervous to just go on my own to some random session. I was thinking maybe everyone would be friends or in partners. Nah, it wasn't like that. You know, you just turn up, everyone's the same as you, fairly like-minded, trying to better themselves and, you know, get into fighting a bit. You just join the gym and you'll be fucking sweet, boys. Style and appearance, of course, comes with this to dominate 2026. You know, you're going to have to fucking improve your appearance. You're going to want to be looking like that version of you. There's no point being the higher version of you, you know, being that dream self without looking like him as well. So haircut every 2 to 3 weeks. You just want to sort of taper the sides, for example. Maybe, I mean, like, I wouldn't really recommend a fade anymore. It's kind of gone out of style, but definitely get sort of tapers. Just get, you know, the ends trimmed, bring it in a bit. You're going to look way cleaner, especially for women. They're quite good at noticing the little things in your appearance and your hair, whether it's being groomed, that sort of thing. Better fitting clothes. So this is obviously an important one. I'm sure you've heard it before, where I try and get tailored clothes. I personally can't be bothered getting tailored clothes. It's probably quite expensive as well. You know, 10 quid each t-shirt, like extra. it's not the end of the world. So either get it tailored or go and potentially get a muscle fit, because currently, you know, your physique, you might be fat, skinny, but likely not six-pack jack kind of thing. The same t-shirt that's just, you know, a fairly tight-fitting, nice t-shirt is going to look way better on that sort of better physique that you have. So that's why, you know, we've put get jacked and stuff like that previously, so then things like this, better fitting clothes, actually fit on your body nicely, rather than having a tight t-shirt with your stomach hanging out, that sort of thing. Clean them fucking beaters. I know your dirty white Air Forces are not what people want to see. Just clean them. It's easy. Just get literally a rag, a cloth, maybe a bowl of water, and just fucking scrub them off. Maybe do it a couple times. Then you can, I use Crep Protect spray. It just comes with some of the shoes that I've got. You just spray it when you get the shoes. Keeps them clean. And then obviously clean them when they get dirty. Just simple stuff. Improves your appearance. People don't look down at your shoes and go, what the fuck's this guy doing? Like, you know, you just look normal. Then grooming routine, of course. Eyebrows. So, you know, just keep them plucked. If you got a fucking monobrow in the middle, that's usually a telltale sign to me that somebody's a fucking mong. Then beard, mustache, that sort of thing. You're going to want to keep that clean shaved, or, you know, keep it well nicely groomed, sort of stubble, that kind of thing. Then obviously teeth, that's important. So just general oral hygiene. So that's brush your teeth, floss your teeth, brush your tongue. Stops bad breath, keeps your teeth looking nice. Very important one, you know, your smile's a fucking weapon. And also, right, I know a lot of men out there don't like it, but shave the body hair, like armpits, just shave them. You don't have to do it too often, but you just begin to fucking stink if they're hairy. Like, it's just not appealing, attractive, and you just fucking stink. Like, I know there's some people out there who need to hear this. So, right, next, let's pick a money skill. This is vital to your growth because, you know, it feeds into different things like style. You need the money for style. So pick a money skill. Online business, that's, you know, a good one. It's not always the easiest thing to run. You're going to have to invest a lot of time, but it's a potential niche. Fix a problem. Sales, that's a very good one for any man, learning to sell. So generally high ticket sales jobs, they usually pay the best, but sales in general, just go online, find a sales job. Honestly, just fucking lie on your CV if you have to. Say you've had a sales job, learn on the go. You'll just be fucking smart. And a lot of them are commission based as well, so this usually means people are more willing to hire you because if you're shit, they don't have to pay you. That you know, that kind of makes sense. So again, sales also develops your confidence and personality. You're going to have to deal with rejection, fucking deal with horrible people on the phone. You're just going to be more confident and better at speaking to people. Content, this can go on its own, but also in line with other things. So, for example, say you go to the gym, right? Creating content around that can be a niche. However, you know, it's a saturated niche, and content alone's not always the easiest thing. When you combine, you know, one or other money skill with content, so online business, right? And if you're recording yourself making this business, for one, it's authentic, so people actually like it and watch it because they don't feel like you're just scamming them or anything like that. You know, you're able to build a brand around you, you're able to build trust, so potentially later down the line you can monetize the content. So they just kind of work together, and it's something you can do where you actually, you know, document and record it. So one skill, one goal. You know, for example, content. If it's getting better at content, literally just go and fucking learn how to edit. I saw a video from Bailey, the guy who films Andrew Tate's videos, and he was saying as well, when you're trying to develop your skills and, you know, you've got one goal, you want to really find down a niche. So, for example, he was saying when he does video editing, he was just, for, I don't know, 6 months, for example, he was literally just niching on how to color grade. Not cameraman as a whole, not, you know, video producing, but just color grading of his videos. So that's how you can really sort of, you know, knuckle down and actually get a profitable, monetizable skill where you can be the fucking best. Again, though, we've said at the bottom, commit for 6 to 12 months minimum. Like, there's no point. Somebody came up to me today who was like, I was trying to be ambitious. I started a business, or I was thinking about a business where I connect business owners and YouTubers where, you know, you can sponsor them, that sort of thing, and he'd take a middleman fee. And he told me he did it for 2 days and gave up. Like, he was like, oh, but it didn't work. I didn't get any messages back or clients. You did it for 2 fucking days and you expect it to be running by then. Rome wasn't built in a day. Like, you look at Coca-Cola and all these sort of brands, they're all built in like 1999, you know what I mean? Like, there's no point expecting it to be done in just 2 days sort of thing. It comes back to that rewiring your brain. Everyone expects this instant gratification, instant dopamine. So 6 to 12 months minimum, go get that. Daily structure. So I always think this is an important one because systems, to me, beat motivation like every fucking time. So same wake times, that's important. You know, circadian rhythm. We've all heard fucking Andrew Huberman chatting shit about waking up, getting red light in the eyes. It's kind of true, kind of not, but just wake up, go get fucking, I don't know, a coffee if you need it. Just wake up at 7 a.m. and go get after the day, same time. You know, I wake up about 7 a.m. every day, same bedtime around like 10, 11. Just keeps it all structured. Grooming routine fits in this. So I know on a night I've got some stuff for my eyebrows and you know, teeth, all stuff like that. Morning it's more teeth and supplements, that sort of thing. Keeps everything structured, keeps you growing. And then we've got weekly gym structure that obviously fits into this. So for example, I have Muay Thai Mondays. Sounds a bit fucking gay, but it's just when it is Muay Thai on Mondays. Then I do sauna on Sundays. So it just keeps a structure so I can keep things rolling over, compounding, growth, everything like that. And then obviously I know that means push-pull legs Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, as well as daily. We're going to need work time dedicated. So within your day, so you've got your weekly plan there, you know, what day am I doing push, pull, legs, that sort of thing. Whereas in the day, you're going to have to go, well, gym's at 9 to 10, and then after that, I'm on for a work schedule. I'd recommend using the these things, D&D, just keeps fucking distractions away, you know. Like I said, rewire your brain. It's easy if your phone's pinging up to just click it, check your notifications, that sort of thing. But you really just want to get that deep focused work, which honestly is much more fucking productive. I'd rather work 3 hours a day, really focused, really locked in, that sort of thing. Just no distractions, headphones on, not speaking to anyone, and then go fuck about the rest of the day, than have half-assed work for like 6 hours where you actually get nothing really done, just because half the time, you know, you're scrolling your phone and trying to work, that sort of thing. And then lastly, we have to document this. It's kind of what I'm doing now, kind of what I was saying earlier with content and then the online business. Just the whole fucking process of self-improvement. Document it, get it on your Instagram. So daily Instagram's the main thing. I recommend potentially doing it on your personal account. I found for me it was a bit annoying starting on a personal account, so like monetizing initially on a personal account is going to be a bit fucking, you know, people are going to say stuff, and as much as you shouldn't listen to them, you're likely not even going to get traction initially anyways. So I'd recommend personal Instagram, just posting a lot more, you know, gym stuff when you go, eating, you know, going about your day. Maybe if you're working on your laptop somewhere, just literally just take a picture of your laptop like that and post that. Then funnel that onto long form on YouTube and, you know, maybe Discord or something like that, or a Telegram, just so it grows and compounds over time. So for the long form, whatever you're doing, whatever your money skill or niche is, or if you have any standout skills, you're just going to want to create some content on that. Doesn't have to be all fucking fancy, you know, I've got a camera and different monitors, that kind of thing. Don't need to do all that. Initially, just, I'm sure you have a phone, because otherwise how the fuck are you watching this? Phone, record, speak to the camera, post multiple videos a day if you can, you know, more content out equals more views in, simple stuff. And yeah, just funnel it, document it, the whole journey, talk about it, creates that authenticity. People like it, people want to fucking pay to see more, people want to help you, as well as be helped by you to get to your situation. You know, people are usually a step or two behind. You can help them get to you. And then as well, people who are ahead of you might help you get to where they are, that sort of thing. So we'll just call this video there. It's a good video, quick little 2026 blueprint. See you boys.